The very woman who built her name by attacking Donald Trump is now staring down the barrel of disbarment. Yes, you heard that right, guys. New York Attorney General Letitia James, the so-called fraud fighter, she is now accused of mortgage fraud, wire fraud, and a jaw-dropping claim that she lied about being married to her own dad, her own father, on official documents. Guys, this isn't gossip. This isn't like some internet chatter, guys. This is like full blown, this is a full blown DOJ referral. Pam Bondi's involved. Federal authorities are now involved. And what kind of woman wants to say that she's married to her dad? Isn't that like incest? Let me know if I'm wrong, guys. Am I wrong? Is Letitia James like trying to say that she's down with incest? Anyway, what's worse than that? While she was busy chasing Trump with a $454 million lawsuit, the evidence is like stacking up against her. And it's enough to crack the legal system wide open, guys. Now, I hope you guys are able to hear me. Do we have anybody from New York here? Where are you guys watching from? Because I know this is a huge story breaking out of New York right now. Comment down below where you guys are watching from and let me know if you're able to hear me. But wait, guys, wait until you hear what Letitia James allegedly did with her townhouse in Brooklyn, or how she claimed that she lived in Virginia. Meanwhile, she was running New York's top law office. How you gonna claim Virginia is your primary residence, but you work in a New York office? Wait, so you mean to try to convince everyone that you drive from Virginia to New York every day and back from New York to Virginia? Who's buying that? Does it? Comment down below if just type in BS if you think if you feel like Letitia James is just full of it, right? Anyway, or how about she might have skirted commercial zoning laws to try to game the mortgage system? Guys, this thing is so big. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but wait till we break into this today, guys. All right. Now, again, this is not just scandal. This is systemic collapse. Okay. And if she's allowed to walk away from these allegations without losing her law license, then the rules don't mean anything anymore. So today we're going to go ahead and break this down. The official disbarment complaint letter that just went public, they're trying to disbar her. And let me know if you think that they should disbar her. The explosive evidence being tied to federal housing fraud. Guys, this is big. And of course, the disturbing silence from the media that's protecting her at all costs. Now, trust me, guys, it only gets wilder from here. Hit the like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel for justice. But definitely stay locked in, because what we're going to uncover next is going to leave you guys speechless. And this could be the end of Letitia James' legal career, and any kind of public trust whatsoever may never recover from this. Now, if Medicare is around the corner for you or for your parents, here's something that you'll want to know. A company called Chapter helps people avoid getting ripped off. They compare every plan in your area. They help you keep your doctors, and they even check to make sure that you see if you qualify for any kind of extra benefits. Julie from Kansas, she already saved $400 a year. Jamie in Texas, $600 went right back into her Social Security check. Can I get an amen for that? Chapter was started by the very same people whose parents, their mom and dad, got screwed over with some bad Medicare advice. So what did they do? Well, they decided, hey, no more of this nonsense. They built a team that actually treats you like family. No pressure. It's no cost to you. It's free. They just like helping people. So pass the word on. Reach out to my friends over at Chapter. They're absolutely amazing, guys. And I'll leave a link for you guys in the description down below this video. Hit the link. You can also call them on the phone if you prefer phone. You want to hear a voice. Their phone number is 909-563-8279. All right, guys. So check this out. Let's start with this bombshell that is shaking the entire legal world right now. Mortgage fraud. Yes. And not just any fraud. Fraud allegedly committed by New York's top law enforcer. Letitia James is accused of falsely falsifying mortgage documents to secure better loan terms. Isn't this the same thing that she tried to come after Trump for? You heard that right, guys. This is the same person who stood on national TV preaching, because you know how she get up on that pulpit and she just starts a preaching, right? So this is the same lady who stood on national TV preaching about accountability and integrity, but now she's being accused of playing fast and loose with the federal lending laws. Interesting. And that's just the start of it. It gets worse. She reportedly mislabeled a 5-bedroom property as a 4-bedroom property. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, Ron, why would she do that? And what's the big deal? Well, I'll tell you why. Because if a property is labeled as 5 bedrooms, it qualifies as a commercial property. And that comes with a whole different set of rules and interest rates. And so it becomes more expensive, stricter inspections, higher insurance premiums, and tougher financing. So if she really misrepresented it, we're talking about a deliberate scheme to basically try and sidestep regulations and cheat the system. And while she was doing that, she was suing Trump for inflating property values. The hypocrisy, guys, is off the charts. So buckle up, because it doesn't even end with the paper fraud, guys. No. Let's talk about how this alleged scheme crossed over into criminal territory. So this takes us right into the second set of allegations, which is the wire fraud. And now we're talking, we're in felony territory, folks. According to federal complaints, Letitia James is accused of electronically transmitting false information. And that, my friends, is wire fraud. And so if you've ever watched somebody get locked up for simply misreporting income on a loan, then this next part is going to make your blood boil. Because Letitia James allegedly used digital filings to submit false mortgage data, falsified residency details, and here's the part that's absolutely insane: claimed to be married to her own father on a mortgage application. Let that sink in. Married to her father. Married to her dad. That's not just fraud. That's unethical. That's unhinged deception. That's incest. Anyway, if these documents are real, and right now federal investigators believe they are, then this isn't just about politics anymore, guys. This is about whether the Attorney General of New York is even fit to practice law. And here's where it gets terrifying. If you or me had done this, we'd be in handcuffs by now. We would already be in handcuffs. So, but what happens when the person committing the crime is the one that's in charge of enforcing the law? That's the question the New York Bar Association now faces. But guys, you're definitely going to want to stick around with me, because what she allegedly did next with her insurance filings and her Virginia residency could blow this case wide open. Now, this next part this isn't about getting the attention. It's really not. I don't know if you watch CNN, ABC News, CNBC, CBS News. Are you seeing the news cover this? If you're not, well, this next part isn't getting the attention that it deserves, but it will. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on blast right now, because buried beneath the mortgage and the wire fraud allegations is something that's even more slippery, believe it or not. There's insurance fraud. So here's what we know. That same Brooklyn townhouse that Letitia James allegedly misrepresented on her mortgage application, it wasn't just about avoiding commercial zoning. It likely changed how that property was insured. So when you reclassify a 5-bedroom to a 4-bedroom, you don't just dodge the higher mortgage standards. You potentially lower your insurance premiums. You skip all sorts of inspections, and you avoid more restrictive coverage terms. And if that's done knowingly and fraudulently, guys, we're talking about insurance fraud, which is a separate offense. And remember, insurance fraud isn't just a civil violation. It's a criminal offense. And New York doesn't play games when it comes to real estate manipulation tied to public officials. Now, guys, this really hasn't even hit the headlines yet. And you got to ask yourself, why not? Why isn't this hitting the headlines? Does anybody have any idea why they're not covering this across major news outlets yet? But when it does, it could take this entire case from just being scandalous to historic. And you want to talk about vengeance for President Donald Trump. If you feel like this woman should sit in jail for what she has allegedly done, if this is true, especially after she tried to come after President Trump for allegedly doing the same thing, type a 47 in the comments. But let me show you where it gets even dirtier. Letitia James, New York Attorney General, top legal officer in the Empire State. But according to official mortgage documents, she claimed her primary residence was in Virginia. Let me repeat that. While overseeing lawsuits, legal strategy, and public policy in New York, she allegedly told lenders she was living in Virginia. Now, again, this is all allegedly. Here's the kicker, though. These documents required her to relocate within 60 days of signing. So either she moved or she lied. Which is it? Do y'all think she moved or did she lie? Let me know. You can't have it both ways. And this wasn't the first time. This wasn't some fine print screw up. This was a certified legal document signed, submitted, and filed electronically. That's perjury. That's fraud. And depending upon the intent, that could be federal. So ask yourself, if she lied on her mortgage, if she misled lenders about where she lives, how can we trust New York Attorney General Letitia James to oversee any legal matter in that state? Right? This is the same woman who claimed no one was above the law, right? Y'all remember that, right? Must have just put herself miles below it. And we're still just scratching the surface here, guys, because we need to talk about something that's just so bizarre, so outrageous. It sounds like a joke, but it's real. It's very real. It involves her marital status, a name on a loan document, and a deception that could permanently destroy her credibility in court, guys. So definitely stick around, because if this next allegation is true, this isn't just disbarment. This could completely collapse her legal career. All right, guys. So we talked about the mortgage fraud. We talked about the wire fraud, but this is something entirely different. Okay. Because according to reports, Letitia James listed her father as her husband on a loan application. Yep. I know. Her father as her husband. And if you're thinking, there's got to be a typo, right? No, it's not a typo. This wasn't some clerical oversight. This was on a legal, binding, federally reviewed document submitted for the purpose of securing a mortgage. Now, you got to ask yourself, right? Like, why would anyone make a move this freaking reckless? Because on many mortgage forms, married applicants qualify for better loans, better loan terms, increased income reporting, and lower risk scoring. And if she knowingly falsified this information, that's not just lying. That is fraud with the intent to deceive. And in many jurisdictions, that is a felony. Yeah, not a misdemeanor, but a felony. But let me be blunt, guys. This is, if this were a conservative lawyer, a Trump ally, you'd be seeing this story across every major news outlet 24/7. You'd be seeing on ABC News, NBC News, CNN for sure. But Letitia James, crickets. And this is exactly why we're covering this today, because what she allegedly did next is going to leave you wondering, how is this woman still holding a law license? Now, let's go back to that Brooklyn property, okay? Because this townhouse is more than just a home. It's the centerpiece of an alleged real estate deception scheme. Reports say Letitia James misrepresented the unit count in her Brooklyn residence. This is what the reports are saying, that she misrepresented the unit count in her Brooklyn residence. So why does this matter? Well, because the unit count affects the zoning laws. It affects the taxes, the inspections, the insurance, and yes, loan eligibility. So if a property is listed as a multi-unit dwelling, it changes everything. The mortgage terms, the insurance type, even the building code inspections. So why would a New York State Attorney General, the top legal enforcer in New York, risk all of this by allegedly fudging the details? Well, it's because it would give her an advantage. It would give her better terms. It would require less oversight, more money in her pocket. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons for doing it. Now, pause for a second here. Imagine you had done that and got caught. Imagine you would be flagged, you would be investigated, maybe even arrested. But James, she's still in office. She's still licensed, still silent. In fact, she's not even that quiet though. She'll get up on the podium and say like, "Hey, all this is BS. What are you talking about?" Like, and there's no humility about her either. But here's the twist, guys. All of this ties directly to her ethical responsibilities as an attorney. And yes, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and break down the exact professional conduct rules that she's accused of violating. Rules that, if broken, demand immediate disbarment under New York law. So this is where it stops being speculation and it becomes a legal reckoning that could cost Letitia James everything. Now let's talk ethics, guys, because the law isn't just about criminal charges. The law is about professional conduct. And this is where the ground beneath Letitia James starts to collapse. Under Rule 8.4a, the New York Rules of Professional Conduct, it is professional misconduct for a lawyer to engage in dishonesty, fraud, deceit, or misrepresentation. Let me repeat that. Dishonesty, fraud, deceit, misrepresentation. And based on everything we've covered so far, from alleged false residency to mortgage manipulation to claiming her daddy was her husband, Letitia James is checking every box. But it doesn't stop there. Rule 8.4 doesn't just punish direct violations, but it also covers attempts, conspiracies, and aiding others in misconduct. So even if she were to claim, "Oh, that's my bad," or somebody else filled out that form, that was me, somebody hacked into my computer and applied for these loans on my behalf, she would still be on the hook. And here's the devastating part. If the bar finds that she violated even one of those rules, her law license can and should be revoked. Because when you're the Attorney General of New York, the standard is higher, not lower. She's not some low level. She's not just some low level lawyer working in some corner attorney's office down the street that no one's heard of. She is the New York Attorney General. Okay. Now let's get let's get to the official challenge to her career, right? This isn't just online outrage. This is a real, formal, legal referral made to the New York State Grievance Committee. It was actually submitted by Steve McLaughlin. He's a very concerned citizen from New York, and under state law, any New Yorker can submit a complaint like this. So it didn't have to be Steve McLaughlin. It could have been Joe Schmo. Anyone who is a citizen of New York could have submitted this complaint. And in this case, McLaughlin actually brought the receipts. He cited alleged mortgage fraud, wire fraud, misrepresentation of property records, and violations of the rules of professional conduct, all tied to attorney registration number 2251072. Letitia Ann James. Wow. The complaint states that the false mortgage documents were filed, that she falsified her primary residence and that these actions raised some serious questions about her integrity as a licensed attorney. Wow. Now, here's the real dagger, guys. In New York, under Judiciary Law 90, a felony conviction like wire fraud means automatic disbarment. Let that sink in. Now, guys, if these accusations stick, she's done. And even if she isn't criminally charged, the bar has full authority to act independently based on the documentation alone. They don't need a judge. They don't need a jury. They just need the facts. And the facts right now, they're scorching hot. Now, you probably knew this was coming. Letitia James is already playing the victim card. She's calling all of this political retaliation. Trump didn't do this to her. The president is busy working on a laundry list of other things. He ain't worried about Letitia James. She says that these bombshell allegations are just because she dared to go after Donald Trump. Is this true, or is Letitia James a liar? Her defense? This is just a revenge tour. I fought Trump, and now they're coming after me. But hold on. Let me get something straight here. This isn't just political noise or partisan mudslinging. We're talking about signed legal documents, mortgage filings, federal referrals, and potentially criminal level fraud. This is not a hit piece. It's an accountability crisis. Letitia James boasted about securing a $454 million judgment against President Donald Trump for exaggerating assets, and now she's being accused of fabricating her own loan documents, falsifying property details, and lying about where she lives, allegedly. This is not political revenge. This is called being a hypocrite. And the American people can smell it from a mile away, and they're mad. And it makes sense. Now, if you're as mad as I am, and many Americans are, just let me know in the comments. Type a 47. Let me know if you think that a full investigation, possible disbarment, and possible jail time needs to be served here. Let me know in the comments, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Give my friends at Chapter a call if you're approaching 65 or your parents are, and get some free advice. I'll leave a link in the description down below this video, phone number as well if you'd like to give them a phone call. We'll see you guys next time.